Everyone, Felipe here. Welcome to another Tower of Saviors GNN news review. I think because of New Year's, I missed out on the GNN news that included the new jackpot cards as well as the power release news of the black gold card Xiang Yu. And I'm actually surprised I didn't cover it, and I actually forgot that Xiang Yu had a power release until I just scrolled down on the GNN news and noticed that I missed one installment for review. So in this video, I will be covering that and letting you know my thoughts and opinions about the new cards as well as the new power release version of Xiang Yu. And this is going to be really exciting because Xiang Yu was one of the quote unquote broken black gold cards when it first released. Everyone was using him and everyone was clearing everything with him. So let's see what the power release version is giving us. Hopefully, it's not too weak and it actually gives us something good to work with and make him relevant in the meta again. So yeah, Xiaoyu Power release uh, on January 2nd. After maintenance, he will be available to power release, which already passed, so everything should be live now. Everything in this GNN should be live, so this is just a pretty much like past review of the cards. So yeah, team attack times 10, HP and recovery times 2.5, extend the runestone movement time by 3 seconds, by dissolving 3 groups of runestones, team attack times 4 additionally, and by dissolving all runestones of one or more types in the first batch, team attack times 2 additionally. So basically he's getting a lot of multipliers, which is always good to have, especially for a black gold card, so it makes it more relevant because you're dishing out more damage and are able to beat out on the new stages. Base base team attack of times 10 is pretty good for the current meta, but additionally you get a times 4 and a times 2 with very easy conditions to hit in my opinion. Dissolving 3 groups of runestones is pretty easy, so that times 4 should be an easy condition to hit and always be live. Um, and the times 2 condition of dissolving all runestones of one type is also really easy because you have 6 types of runestones you can choose from, and it should be pretty straightforward to at least get rid of all runestones of one single type. So overall, I think this leader skill is going to be pretty good and have more damage output, which is always good. Now, to his team skill. Um, Remember, Xiang Yu has two different types of team skills. One is when he is in a rainbow team, and one where he is in a light team. So now let's take a look at the first one, which is going to be the rainbow version of Xiang Yu, I think. Oh, no, never mind, it's not. This is the base team skill of Xiang Yu. So just having Xiang Yu as a leader and ally, no matter what team members you have. So every time a runestone of the member's attribute is touched while moving, recover 5000 HP. This is already pretty good because it used to only be light runes. So this is going to give you more recovery and make it easier for you. However, there's no overheal because it only heals until the team HP is full, so unfortunately overheal is going to be a struggle still. All runestones possess the effect of all runestones, so this includes Heart, pretty nice. Sticky will be nullified, that stays the same. So movement will not be stopped when an electrified runestone is touched, also stays the same. And I think newly added runestone movement will not be stopped if you touch a laser trap. And that's also pretty niche, pretty situational, but it's always good to have a passive skill that ignores one of the enemy skills. So overall, a pretty good change. If you are running a mono light team, both leader and ally are Xiang Yu with only light members in the team. Increase the drop rate of light runes to 40%. Effect of light runes increases by 300%. Team, I think. I don't remember what base Xiang Yu was like, so I'm just going off my memories from a couple years ago. But yeah, for each group of runes to dissolve combo count plus 2 additionally, that stays the same. And by dissolving all light runes in the first batch, skill CDs of all members minus 1. Also, I think, yeah, it becomes team attack. I think Xiang Yu was human only before. I could be wrong. But because it says team attack, you actually have access to all the cards in the game now. Actually, uh, nope, we added. Well, we can find it. But yeah, don't you love live reaction? Oh wait, no, it was just like light attack times 7.5. Oh, okay, yeah. So here's the thing. It used to team attack times 9. So it used to be that Xiang Yu, his leader skill was only benefiting light members uh, on his base skill. And now when you had four or more attributes in the team, you would trigger the rainbow skill, which would be team attack times 9. And if you had only light members, yeah, if you only had light members, your combo count would increase by 1, but you wouldn't get any additional multiplier. So I think this is a really good change that his base leader skill was set at a higher multiplier. So this is higher than the rainbow skill, but it also benefits a mono light team, even if you don't have four or more attributes in the team. Also, your HP recovery increased from 2000 to 5000, which, I mean, for movement recovery, it doesn't really matter because you have all the time in the world to just like spin however much you need to recover your full. But that being said, it only triggered before if you had no, it only triggered with light runes, like I remember correctly. But now it triggers based on your team members' attributes. If you're running a monolith team, it's only light members. But um, if you're running a rainbow team with all the attributes, then have basically easy heals with everything that you have on the board, basically. But yeah, combo count plus two, so that is an additional combo, and this skill CD reduction is new. Uh, light rune drop rate is also increased, and effective light runes also by 300%. So basically, this is a straight buff to a mono light shang. You get more combo, you get more damage, you get more light runes, main form of attacking rune. Except you also have runes of possession effect, all runes. That's the effect of all runes. So it doesn't really matter. But because of light runes having 300% effect, having more light runes is always going to be better. For the rainbow version of Xiangyu, the condition decreased to 3 or more attributes instead of 4, which is going to give you more flexibility. After dissolving runestones, the runestones be dropped in the first batch in the column will be of the member's attribute, and this is still the same. Um, and runestones to be dropped will be arranged in proper order, and by dissolving 3 or more types of runestones, attack increases by 2.5. That is also going to be new because in the past, what happened when you ran a rainbow team is that you would get a new leader skill and that's it. Your team skill wouldn't really trigger or you wouldn't have any other benefits except for your altered leader skill. But in that leader skill, you still got a 2 times team attack if you dissolve 3 or more types of runestone. So this increased from 2 to 2.5, which is good. Other than that, Rainbow Shine pretty much stays the same. Um, and because of the new leader skill, it is going to be uh, more flexible to build. In my opinion, I think the real winner of this buff is going to be the Mono Light Xiangyu team. Because not only you have a higher multiplier on your leader skill, you also get more on your team skill um, and more damage from your team skill as well. Although I think Rainbow Xiangyu is still really fun to play because of the guaranteed sky drop. Uh, so definitely a good thing to have in my opinion. But yeah, The next team skill is going to be the Yumai um, team skill that, if you run Yumai in the team, you get a buff. Uh, it's just a stat buff, skill CD reduction, and HP and recovery, HP and attack boost of 2 times, which is always good because it does boost your Xiang Yu's attack. So if you have Yumai, definitely consider adding her to your team. But keep in mind that Yumai is. Oh wait, no, she will synchronize, so she will be a line member. But yeah, next we have Xiang Yu skill, which is a CD8, and it was one of the more broken active skills in the game because you could single dissolve everything and also choose what not to single dissolve. So you could bypass the single dissolve weakness, which is anti-runestone shield, by not choosing that runestone single dissolve and be able to bypass those annoying enemy skills. So let's see how it changed. Restore all runestones to normal state. That is good. That was one of the weaknesses Xiang Yu had in the past. If you had a full board of weakened runes, you wouldn't be able to move because your movement will be stopped. But if you restore all runestones to normal state, this means you have free reign of what to move. Uh, Same thing by tapping a runestone in magic circle of elements, modify that type to become protected runestones. For one round, other types of runes can be dissolved singly in the first batch. Unlimited runestone movement without dissolving, and damage will be dealt regardless of combo shield and anti-runestone shield first batch. Wait, that huh. That last thing kinda also fixes Xiangyu's weakness, or the weakness of single dissolve, which is the anti-runestone shield. If you can ignore anti-runestone shield, it means that you can basically just activate your skill and single dissolve everything without care because you can just deal damage. But the fact that, honestly, I think being able to ignore fixed combo shield is also really good because when you are single dissolving, you are generating a really big amount of combos, which will most definitely not satisfy your fixed combo shield requirements. So ignoring that straight up is going to be really good. Um, Time tunnel always good. Single dissolve is always good. Protector runes are a little bit more situational nowadays. It basically gives you a way to deal with enemies that have protected rune shield, but that is also very situational. And because of the single dissolve nature, you're getting rid of so much of your board that you have to actively protect or prevent your protected runestones from not being dissolved by putting them far away from each other. But who is to say that your schedule will not mess you up? So, it's a good addition, but I don't think it's that much of a game changer. It's nice, but definitely okay. I think the biggest changes is the fact that you can ignore fixed combo shield and shield. If we check the previous active skill, it was only time tunnel and single dissolve without any. Oh, you do restore runestones to normal state before. Oh, I might be mistaken then. Uh, but yeah, so the protector runes, new fixed combo shield, and anti-runestone shield thing is new. And honestly, his active skill was already so good that these changes make it even better. But these changes are definitely needed because with the current meta and enemies getting more and more skills that are annoying to counter, it is better to have ability built in so that you don't have to um, bring more team members than you need. So honestly, this active skill got even better. So really happy about that. And honestly, it makes Xiang Yu better with the power release. So yeah, that's all for Xiang Yu. Looks like it. We do have the 2 new jackpot cards that I actually haven't had time to try, except for the weekend material stages. And in those stages, I have only tried um, Willy Vulpes, Xiang, and I haven't really tried um, Keanu or this card. So I know you do generate a top row and a bottom row for Xiang, but that's all I know. So let's actually take a look at what they are, um, what they actually do, and what their full kit is, because I don't know. This is what happens when you release something in New Year's and I'm busy. Um, I just miss out on it and I forget to check it later until I get home. But yeah, so era of novelty. Okay, brand new Diamond Seal event. Okay, so basically, this is just changes to the jackpot um, and the novelty Chronicle Steals. Ooh, you can pick one out of the 11 jackpot characters from the first encounter. That's good. This is pretty good because if you missed out on any jackpot characters, you are able to choose and get them again. Um, but between you and me, I think the jackpot characters of First Encounter, Trusty Buddies, Tenacious Verve, and Critical Coadjutor were not that great, and Black Gold cards and collaboration cards are way better. But yeah, that's just my thought. Yeah, there's no chance up event for Mad Hero Originals, so that's fine. Again, Black Gold cards and collaboration cards are definitely better than some of these jackpot cards. But yeah, we have Willy Vulpes, Zheng Xiang, leader skill, Elf and Gods attack times 8, HP and recovery times 1.8. When the team has 2 or more races, team attack increases by 6 times, and HP increases by 1.2 times additionally. All runestones also possess 50% of all runestones. This is good because it does incentivize you to have, oh, when the team has less than 2 races. So you can run either a mono god team because Jiang Jiang is a god, or a god and elf team will benefit fully from her full leader skill. And times 8, base times 8 is pretty good, it's pretty average for the current meta, but you do have a times 6 with a very easy condition, which is just running a mono race or a 2 race team, which you should be doing anyway. So overall, this is a pretty much guaranteed times 6 team attack bonus. And if you're running dual leader and ally, this is times 48 on one side, and that is pretty good. Um, Still pretty average in my opinion, since a lot of the jackpot cards from collaboration and things like that have like base leader skill of like times 72, give or take. Uh, but times 48 is pretty good, especially if there's maybe something in her team skill that boosts that even further. So, ooh, that's a pretty long paragraph. Extend runestone movement time by 4 seconds. Nullify sticky. Tumbler. Uh, the last runestone you use to end your movement will create this a top row and bottom row of that runestone, enchanted runestone of that type. If the runestone held is a character rune, turn the rows into enchanted runestones of that member's. Oh, okay. Turn the rows into enchanted runestones of that member's attribute and race. Oh, that is pretty good. I have never triggered character runestone while playing Junction before, so that is good to know. By dissolving 8 runestones of one type, it doesn't have to be in a single group, it can be multiple groups, your combo count increases by 4 and your team attack increases by 4 times. By dissolving again more 8 runestones or more of one attribute, each member launches an extra attack of that attribute. Self and God damage will be dealt regardless of fixed combo shield, trio elemental shield, wind elemental shield, and Willy Vulpes Jiang Jiang skill cooldown -2 base and skill cooldown -4 after entering stage. This is actually a really good team skill. If this were in a collaboration card, this team skill would be broken in my opinion. Being able to increase your combo and also increase your damage, as well as having an extra attack of whatever attribute you choose, is really good. You also ignore fixed combo shield, trio and quintet elemental shield, and also give yourself a skill cooldown reduction um, after entering the stage, and also a base skill cooldown reduction. That only comes into play after we look at her active skill, but I think this Team skill is absolutely insane and really good. Ignoring sticky is good, tumbler is good, and then controlling what runestones you generate is also really good. So, in my opinion, a very solid leader, and the fact that you can slot in whatever attribute you want, also going to make it really flexible for you to team build because you're going to have access to all the elves in the game and also all the gods in the game. So yeah, really solid leader. Definitely a good leader in my opinion. And have a CD6 skill, which CD6 is pretty average, but if you're running Willy Bulbous Jiangxiang as a leader, you have a CD4 skill on your hands. And let's see what we do. By tapping a runestone in the magic symbol element, times turn the runestones of the first type into enchanted runestones of the second type. Modify runestones touch while moving to become god runes. Jiangxiang attack increases by 3 times, and damage will be dealt regardless of equal combo shield and defense. If an enemy is defeated, the skill stays in play. Oh, okay. Uh, oh, wow, okay. So I'm guessing the skill stays in play is going to be X2, 3, and 4, because there's no way you're able to keep tapping your runestones. Uh, that is more of a trigger um, condition rather than a sustained effect, in my opinion. I need to test that, but honestly, this is a good active skill, especially because it is going to be 4. Even if it doesn't stay in play, you're going to be able to activate it in 4 rounds. And that is amazing. Increasing your attack times 3, not too much of an increase given that cards like Kurapika increase their own attack by 4, and it's also a very good sustained skill with no uh, maintenance condition. Well, actually, there is a condition, but it is way easier to maintain that skill than defeating an enemy. So Kurapika can just deal damage even if you don't kill the enemy. But even then, I think a times 3 attack bonus with shield ignoring properties is going to be really powerful, especially because it is going to be at CD4 if you have Jiang Xiang as a leader. Even if you don't have Jiang Xiang as a leader, I think this is going to be a pretty good addition to Fire God teams or God teams because that utility, equal combo shield utility, is still pretty premium right now. Because equal combo shield is a newer skill that has been introduced in the game relatively to other skills. So being able to ignore that is really good. And here's the thing, I think something I didn't cover, I think that I just realized is that the leader only has to be Yang Xiang, and you can add whatever else you want as an ally. And first things that come to mind is going to be Earth Daji, because Earth Daji has so much damage output in her lead skill that it makes it really insane to an ally, even if you don't have this black gold card. So honestly, a good leader and a good active skill. Um, but yeah, honestly, a really solid active skill that also is future proof and good as a member. Since CD6 is pretty quick, pretty average for active skills nowadays. Amazing when it's a leader because you can activate. Oh, excuse me. You can activate this skill from the get-go if you run Jiangxiang as a leader. And even when you run as a leader, it becomes a C4 skill. We also have some bonding skills, but those are more character runestones, which will also trigger her team. So that's also pretty. Next, we have the other jackpot card, which is Ganodermus or Kiano. It has the following leader skill: attack type 6, fire members, and elf members, or additional. HP and recovery increases by 2, and by dissolving a character rune or a range rune account. 2. Each member will launch an extra earth attack. So in my opinion, this is also a base. So base team attack of times 6 is low for the current meta. However, her extra attacks will boost her to a times 48, which is also the same multiplier that Yang Chen had. However, you do need to dissolve character runes or raise runes, which depending on her team skill might be a little bit hard to achieve if you have like traffic light rules and things like that. Um, but yeah, her team building is also going to be a little bit more restrictive because you can only fit in fire members and elf members, um, which honestly is not bad, but gods have way more utility than elves and fire members. Having access to an entire attribute is actually not that bad. So yeah, fire elf leader, 48 base multiplier, and an extra earth attack at a baseline. Not a bad thing. Let's take a look at her team skill. So when Keanu is a leader, cruise of movement time increases by 2 seconds. You do get Tumbler. You are not poisoned. Ooh, you are not poisoned. That is. Our runes possess 150% effect of all attribute rune stones. Turn the first five runes of touch while moving into Heart Elf Runestone. By dissolving fire or heart runes, attack times 5 and combo count increases 3. Nice. When there is Keanu in the team, upon poisoning or venoming an enemy, bewitch the enemy for 1 round so it attack itself for each other one. If the enemy is poisoned or venom, damage dealt to that enemy times 4 addition. Honestly, this is really. Let's actually let me not get distracted. The first part of the team skill, so the leader version of her team skill, is actually not that bad. Uh, Based on multiplier alone, you do get more multiplier than Xiang because you have the same base 48 on her lead if you fulfill all the conditions. But while Jiangxiang has a times 4 team attack uh, only, Keanu has a times 5 team attack with a really easy condition to hit because you are generating heart runes just by moving. So this condition is going to be and because you're generating heart runes, it is also going to make this team attack times 5 basically guaranteed. Here's the thing though, um, turning the first 5 runes of such heart runes, heart elf runes, is can sometimes be detrimental because you might need to use it for Quintet Elemental Shield or Equal Combo Shields, and getting rid of some of those runestones might make it a little bit hard for you to dissolve shields that require a lot of like runestone count precision, if that's a term. Um, However, it is pretty good because you do get all the benefits from heart runes. You get recovery from heart runes. So it's also pretty good. In terms of shield break potential, this it doesn't seem like you have any built into your kit. So hopefully we'll be looking at an active skill that does get rid of some enemy shields, but at a baseline, her leader skill doesn't increase utility, which does hurt her a little bit. But you can ignore poisoning, which is very situational. But some of the poison enemies are very annoying nowadays, so definitely a good thing. But yeah, for her active skill, we have a C6 skill. Restore. Ooh, dual active. Nice. So Piano has two active skills. Six, both of them. The first one restores all cracked. Turn all runestones into enchanted runes. For 2 rounds, Smog will be nullified. Ooh, after dissolving runestones, the first batch to be dropped in the 3 columns on the left. Enchant the runestones of the leader's attribute, and the 3 on the right will be enchant the runestones of the ally's attribute. And the second active skill is poison all enemies. Um, blah. Same thing. So honestly, these two active skills are amazing. We haven't had any card that ignores or nullifies smog. So just from that, this active skill is good. But you also get guaranteed sky drop of your leader's attribute and your ally's attribute, which makes this card a really good member card. You can put her in any team and you can basically guarantee 15 runes of whatever type you want. Technically, you can guarantee 30 runes of whatever type you want, but that does require a full board dissolve. But in my opinion, I think dissolving 15 on one side is easier than dissolving the entire board. So I will say you can guarantee 15 runes of your leader's attribute or your ally's attribute, which is really big because it is a lot of attacking runes. And it can also help you clear out uh, runes don't count shields. Damn. So this skill really good. Uh, it's a shame that it doesn't include a lot of other shield breaking, so like fixed combo shield, puzzle shield, or things like that. But I think the utility of getting rid of smog is definitely very, very welcome. Also, restoring crack position, because those are annoying. For the second skill, poison all enemies, that is also pretty niche. Also, it's not an active skill that was good in the past. There were some instances where it was good when the enemy only had 10 HP, but because of her team skill of just being in the team, if you poison an enemy, it will be bewitched, so it attacks itself for 1 round. But more importantly, the enemy is poisoned, your damage dealt to that enemy increases by 4 times additional. So basically, what used to be a minor debuff of just poisoning the enemy becomes a times 4 team attack to your entire team, because this basically debuffs the enemy and allows you to deal more damage. So honestly, the fact that this is a second active skill makes it really still gives Piano a really good active skill. If her active skill was only this second one, that would be kind of trash. But because she has two of them, it actually makes this poison active skill more usable thanks to her team skill. But also you have a good active skill uh, as well. Because remember, poison is a status condition, and if the enemy is uncontrollable, it will not trigger. But yeah, I think Keanu as a leader, um, I struggle with a little bit of endgame content because of the utility and shield breaking potential. But I think as a member, she is going to be really amazing because of the utility that she brings with the smog nullification. It is situational, I will admit, but it is one of the first cards that can ignore smog. So, in my opinion, any utility that can ignore something new is very useful to just have in your back pocket in case a very annoying nightmare stage comes out that requires you, or make your life easier having that. So definitely good if you get Keanu and put it in your back pocket. But I think overall, I don't think this seal warrants getting spending diamonds much. I will say you do want to wait until the news of the Lunar New Year Black Gold card come out, because Lunar New Year is coming out pretty soon in like 2 weeks. So uh, those are some, maybe you want to spend those diamonds in that. So in my opinion, I think you should save diamonds for the new Black Gold card. But yeah, we do have a new realm exploration event, which is the maze exploration. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. You can get Mysterious Maiden and Bash Hunting. But yeah, Mysterious Maiden, leader skill, attack time 6. Uh, oh, in the stage of Day of Souls, there's a 100% chance that Arcane Lusters appears in the last wave. So basically, this is going to be a card that allows you to farm souls easier. So definitely get her if you need to farm souls. In terms of her active skills, the CD10 that stuns enemies for 3 rounds, which is really good. The effect stays in until runestones of the Master's attributes are dissolved in the first batch. Also pretty good. Ooh, actually, That one's going to be a little bit tricky if you have all five attributes in the team, but it should be pretty easy to leave them. But being able to stun enemies for 3 rounds is actually not that bad. Um, 5 second extend the runestone time and increase the human runestone wall. But yeah, can get Mysterious Maiden by clearing the specific stages in the realm exploration, and you can also get Lonely Lullaby while chanting upon each appearance of Braving Nightmares challenge stage. But yeah, so Mysterious Maiden, honestly, not a bad card, but also not a good card. Uh, the leader skill is you're not gonna be using her as a leader unless you are farming for souls, which honestly 100% guarantee on Arcane Luster is really good. But given the amount of events that we have, I think your stamina is better used in something else. And honestly, you do get a lot of souls just from like weekday material stages and weekend material stages. Yeah. Her active skills not bad, but CD10 is kind of long. So you can use something else like Ares or, but you know what? Human wise, I think it is one of the few humans that can stun for that long. So still some utility there, but not that much. Um, yeah, CD10 pretty long. But yeah. So in terms of Washington thing, it's a C6 Dark Human um, card and has the following active skill: turn odd columns into runes of the leader's attribute, and turn even columns into dark runes. For 1 round, human attack increases by 1.8, and damage will be dealt regardless of quintet and elemental shield. Pretty basic skill in my opinion. 86, pretty quick, not that much utility. 1.8 attack boost for humans is not that much, so in my opinion, because it is a free to play card and that you can farm and get easily, I'd say get one in your team, but there are definitely better cards in the game now. That an active skill like this one will not see that much play, in my opinion. But yeah, next we have the 10th anniversary Supersonic Armor C, which is going to be one of the new additions to the Genshi. And because we can actually look at the future, or more like we are looking to the past, we also know there's a Flowers of Pledge uh, skill adjustment or buff that allows Yenshi members to shine even brighter. So, given that this card is a Yenshi member, you will definitely fit really nicely with those skill adjustments, those black gold cards. Let's see. For her leader skill, we have a team attack times 6, HP and recovery times 1.3. Yenshi members and Mechanic members attack times 6 additional, HP and recovery times 8. Runestones of Yenshi members attribute also possess 50% effect of all. LCDs of Yenshi members -3 after any stage. So basically, this is just from the get-go very good Yenshi leader um, skill. You benefit a lot of your Yenshi members, including the biweekly cards, the Nightmare Stage card, and the 2 Black Gold cards. So, pretty good. Uh, your base multipliers times 6, which is pretty low. You do have another times 6, but this base makes it a base 36 times leader skill, which is pretty low considering the current meta. So let's take a look at the team skill to see if that improves a little bit. Yenshi members HP, attack and recovery times 1.3. Uh, so this is a passive when uh, supersonic armor is in the team and not the leader. Upon the first activation of a Yenshi member each round, Yenshi members will deal damage regardless of defense and launch an extra attack of that member's attribute. That is actually really good. That is really good because if you're running 5 attributes in your team, you can just activate a skill and have every member launch or have Yenshi members launch an attack of that attribute. That's really nice being able to choose what extra attack. It is tied to activating an active skill, so it's not entirely 100% uptime, but I think it's still a pretty good addition, especially for a passive skill of just having supersonic armor. However, when the leader is supersonic armor and you have an ally Yanxi member, burst of movement time increases by 4 seconds by dissolving 3 types of rune stones, team attack times 4, and combo count increases 4. By dissolving one group of 5 or more attribute rune stones, members of that attribute have their attack increased by 2.5 and damage will be dealt regardless of 6 combo. This one is a little bit. This team skill is good. Um, However, team attack times 4 and combo count plus 4 is going to be really easy to hit. 3 types of runestones, not that hard of a condition. The second condition, though, there's no runestone generation effect in her leader skill or her team skill, so you'll be relying on whatever you have on them. And because by dissolving one group of 5 or more attributed runestones, you get an additional 2.5 and also fixed combo shield and puzzle shield breaking. That is really good, but it only benefits one attribute. And depending on your board, you may not have control on what that attribute is. Um, Granted, if you're running a full rainbow team with all attributes in the team, at least one character is. But that does mean that if you're running multiple attributes, you are not able to benefit all of them. Uh, you're not able to benefit all of them if you only dissolve one group of 5. So here's the thing though. If you have a skill that generates one column of each attribute, this team skill becomes busted. Pretty nutty because every single attribute will benefit from the attack boost, as well as the fixed combo shield break and the puzzle shield break. So actually, that might be Personic Armor C's active skill. Maybe. Let's see. 6. Here the negative effect of black and white. Column below the character. The column below the characters into enchanted runestones of the character's attribute. For one round, team attack times 2. Yenshi members and Makina's damage dealt will be regardless of anti-rune. And then on the round, turn the columns below Yenshi members and Makina's into enchanted runes of the members attributed each column. For every extra Yenshi member in the team, the skill stays in play for one more round to the max of 4 rounds. And there you have it. This active skill will give you the board that you need to benefit from that second team skill, and it is going to make it really good. Furthermore, there is an additional utility here where you can ignore anti-runestone shield, and that is pretty busted. In my opinion, for a free-to-play card, because Supersonic Armor She is a free-to-play card, this is really good. Honestly, this active skill is really, really good. Um, Granted, it is only good on a Yanxi team, but if you're planning on running a Yanxi, this is a must-get card for you. Even if not, I think this is a must-get card just because it's free. You just get it from collecting coins and you can get it dual max copy for free. So honestly, it's a no-brainer. You should get it. But yeah, next we have Flourish Pledge and other skill adjustments, uh, which I covered in my other video. So go and watch that video if you haven't. But basically, it's just small buffs to multipliers and small changes with utility to active. But yeah, no, they're also changing Ember. Wait, oh, our runes can only be dissolved by aligning 30 or more of them. That's kind of funny. Anyways, oh, new Dragonware invitations. Summoners may forge invitation with summoner candidates and myriad fable series. Blue invitation, water member, Dragonware skill. Attack and attack. I guess it's a good way of using up your summoner candidates like Macho Slime, for example. But honestly, these Dragon Wares aren't that great. You just get extra attack and attack. But I guess the good thing is that the charge condition is dissolving runes first patch. Pretty good. But I think the best thing is that it is available to that attribute and it's not locked to any race in particular. It is going to make it a little bit more flexible, but the Dragon War skill is so mid. It's very lukewarm. It's like it's a good bonus, but if you have better Dragonware, it is better to equip those Dragonwares than these ones. Especially for example the ones that you get from drawing a black gold card or the takoyaki seals, the birthday seals. I think those are way better than these Dragonwares. So yeah. So that is all for this GNN news. I cannot believe I missed such a big update, and well, that's why we're covering it now. But just to summarize, we have the new power release of Xiang Yu, which makes his leader skill stacked up with more multipliers and less conditions to fulfill. It slaps on the better leader skill as his base skill without having to run a rainbow team, which indirectly buffs his mono light capabilities and also slightly buffs his rainbow team. His active skills gets a new update with more utility, which is always welcome. We have two new jackpot cards, which have pretty average multipliers, but I think they do have pretty fun playstyle. Uh, Yang Xiang is a pretty good leader with very good team skills, while Keanu has a really good active skill and a good team skill as a passive, where you can deal more damage if you poison an enemy, which she also comes with a poisoning active skill. We also get a new event, which is the maze exploration, that comes with two new characters, free to play characters that I personally don't think will see much play, but since they're pretty easy to get, might as well get. Next, we have the Supersonic Armor She, which is a free to play card, completely free for the 10th anniversary, which is going to be a very nice addition to the Yanxi arc. And lastly, we have skill adjustments and 5 new Dragon Wares that, in my opinion, are kind of mid, not that great. But I mean, if you don't have access to good Dragon Wares or Dragon Ores or things like that, this is going to be a good option for you. But if you have other options, then these are not. I wouldn't suggest you crafting these and saving your silver seals to craft more of the character specific dragon wares, which will be way more useful, in my opinion. But yeah, that is going to be all for this installment of the GNN news. Please let me know in the comments if I missed anything or if I said anything wrong. And as always, stay tuned on my YouTube channel for more Tower of Saber. For now, stay safe, stay healthy, and I will see you next time. Bye, everyone.